Hello and welcome to the Level Cap podcast for all of your Tide Pod casting needs and otherwise.
Oh, you said it. You said the thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
So, Marco, have you been doing any Tide Pod rituals recently?
Yes. So actually, I went to my local pod priest and asked him for the bleach confession, which involved me consuming 5 Tide Pods and praying to the almighty cleanse gods that my soul shall be clean. And it is clean now. I am actually a saint now. You didn't know?
I think you may have been venerated after death with taking 5 Tide Pod challenges.
Yeah. Indeed.
Kids,
I'm
kids
a ghost.
At home,
I'm a ghost.
Don't eat Tide Pods. No, I actually advocate the casting of Tide Pods. We throw them to purify evil.
Oh, okay. So I may have made a mistake in consuming the Tide Pods.
I think you joined the wrong religion, Marco. You
Yeah.
joined the Tide Pod, the Tide Pod cleansing religion, and not the Tide Pod casting religion.
Yeah, my mistake. You know, they both were Tide Pod C, right? So it's like, I was like, is it cleansing?
This is a mistake that'll haunt you for the rest of your short life.
You mean will haunt me for the eternal afterlife that I'm currently in because I am dead because I consumed detergent?
Edge Ghost Marco.
Oh yes, you do not know who I am, but I don't know who I am either because I am a ghost.
All we know is that he's a very clean ghost.
Yeah, a very, very clean boy ghost. I don't know anymore. What's this entire Tide Pod? Why suddenly Tide Pod?
That's your shonen power, Marco.
Oh no, my shonen power is to die? That sounds like the edgiest thing possible.
To die cleanly. No matter what, he dies cleanly.
Yes.
Jump off a bridge, nope, still in one piece, looks great in the coffin.
Oh my gosh. You know, I commit Sudoku and stab
That's
myself.
your action movie. It's your action movie. It's not Die Hard, it's Die Clean.
Die clean! Oh no. Bruce Willis is there and he's really mad that I keep dying clean. Oh no, yeah. He can still be McLean and then he'll kill me and then like when I die I actually clean the entire place I'm in instead of spilling blood.
He's McLean now.
No, we're done. We're moving on. Welcome to the Level Cap podcast, where we will have a wonderful docket for all of you tonight. We will talk about games, good, clean games, and we'll have good, clean family fun.
Yeah, indeed. So let's talk about our game of the week.
Oh,
So
Brad.
first of all, we're back to playing Game of the Week.
Me and
Marco
this
this week. We played. Go for it. Take it away, Marco.
Iconoclasts, which is a wonderful pixel animated Metroidvania style game. That's also like a platformer. I guess all Metroidvania style games are platformers by like the nature of that genre. It's so good. I mean, like, I'm bad at it. It's actually really hard. It might also be because I chose the hardest difficulty for my first playthrough. But yeah, it's a wonderful
game. I usually
game.
play on normal.
Oh, really?
Time for that.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
But yeah,
you know,
if it was a top-down Metroidvania, it'd be a Zelda-like instead.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right? So, this is a wonderful game. I forget who made it, actually. Let me just double check. It's obviously an indie game, right? But like, what's the indie?
Feels
studio
like it.
for
Yeah.
Iconoclast. What's the indie studio for Iconoclasts? Anyway, you go on. I'll just like blurt it out when I find it.
You get okay. So so Iconoclast is pretty cool. It is. I mean, it is a platform adventure game. I don't know if it's truly a Metroidvania. I mean, it is currently it's very linear. I guess I'm in World 3, if you will. Because you complete an area, they ship you off to the next area, and then I just completed the desert area, which is the third one.
I see.
Okay. So, I'm really enjoying the game so far. It's got a very cool cast. The main character is very likable. The supporting cast is very likable. The villains are very unlikable, but not in a like I don't know. They're good. The villains are good because you kind of
Yeah.
don't know what they're all about, but you know what they're all about, and they're all about not being very nice to you.
Not being very nice. It's a pretty Metroidvania thing because it's like once you're done with so you finish the desert area, there's another area after that where you're on like a underground submarine, and then once you're done with that area, you have to go back to the previous ones, and you have to
so then the backtracking starts.
Yeah, then the backtracking starts. Like you gain an extra power. Like you ever wonder what those like? I don't know if it like spoil you, but there's like an upgrade that you get after the submarine that does something with those like you see those like things you could grab your wrench on that have like electric lines on them.
Yeah, I assumed that there must be a power up for those.
Yeah, like some sort of zipline thing. Yeah, it's essentially what it is. So it's like, it gives you more traversal options and it's a Metroidvania style, right? Like getting new stuff to traverse the world. I mean, like it's pretty cool. I think
it's a pretty cool game.
Yeah, I think though what I wanted to emphasize about this game, because like in terms of gameplay, there's nothing really new that it does. You know what I mean? It's like it's a Metroidvania style platformer game. That's it. I think this game
it's a little polished. It's a little more polished, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think what this game does differently than a lot though is the story that it takes and the setting that it has is like really different compared to what of the typical Metroidvania milieu, if you will, right? Like it's not like some sort of castle or some sort of like medieval fantasy or like whatever. It's like this weird like dystopian future. I'm not even sure anymore, but like
it feels a lot like the setting for Final Fantasy VII to me.
It
and
does.
That may just be because I get this really strong Turks vibe from the bad guys, but it kind of does. It feels like this sort of post-technology fantasy world.
Yeah, it's kind of not technopunk,
post-technology dystopian fantasy.
Yeah. So it's like, they have like fantasy tropey characters, but they're all like what if we had technology from 2020 or something like that, right? And then there's a lot of there's a lot of religious like things about this. Like the entire story is about religion.
Yeah, well,
right?
It's about conflict of religion between the different groups in this world.
Yep, and hence the name of the game.
Yeah, there's some other thing going on too that we're not really sure about, but because we're still not more than halfway through it, so
yeah,
we'll see. But so how do you feel about Metroidvanias in general, Marco?
So I think Metroidvanias in general are some of my most loved but also most hated games. For one about Metroidvanias is that they have that kind of like difficulty and gameplay elements that a lot of roguelikes actually co-opted, right? Lots of roguelike games that I enjoy tend to co-opt these like platform dungeon-esque mechanics that they all put in the game. And a lot of the times these roguelikes also have like various movement options and power-ups that you gain over time. I mean, like, whether or not I want to admit it, right? Like, Dead Cells plays a lot like this game, because Dead Cells steals a lot from what the Metroidvania is. So in the end, I think I like the gameplay a lot, but my big problem is the fact that maybe it's just like it's not my genre anymore, but like I heavily dislike backtracking. And in a game like Iconoclast and a lot of the classic Metroidvanias, it's like no holds barred. They don't really tell you what you need to do. You have to keep traversing the map over and over again to find that one special place that you need to use your new power up on to find the new area, or else you're going to be spending the next 30 minutes doing nothing but backtrack through areas you've already seen 6 times. Like, that's like the worst part of Metroidvanias.
Dead Cells is a lot different. I would almost not call Dead Cells Metroidvania. Like it's
no, it's not.
It's really more of a roguelite.
Yeah, but it's like
for me, the genre definition is the things like you acquire traversal powers, and these traversal powers unlock new areas of the game, and like you see it in Hollow Knight and with this two of the games in this genre that we played now. Like first you get the wall jump, and then you get like a rocket boost, and then you get the ability to blow up the barrier, whatever barrier is in your way. Eventually you get an air double jump that opens up new areas, and then if you're playing like Ori and the Blind Forest, you get like all kinds of other crazy traversal powers.
Yeah,
I think that Yeah, and maybe this game will impress me as we go further into it. But like with Ori and Blind Forest, I felt they really ramped up the traversal game and gave you some traversal options that had not been seen in other games of the genre yet.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas game like this and Hollow Knight just kind of built upon the staples of the genre, and didn't give you a new way to to interact with the platform environment.
Yeah, I think I feel that same way. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, right? But the powers that you get don't really transform the game in such a way that makes it like feel new. I mean, like the power ups it gives me, it's like, oh, this thing lets you explode barriers because it's a bomb, or like this thing lets you zip line through stages. It's like, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you couldn't use that to interact with the stages you've been to in a new way. It's always just like you can zip line on these zip lines that you couldn't zip line earlier, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, yeah, I think the coolest thing that the game does, in my opinion, is that when you get the bomb power up, right? Like you can do a Mega Man Buster kind of thing, right? Where you charge your gun and then it shoots an enhanced version of whatever the bullet is. And what happens when you shoot the bomb is that you shoot this missile that has like a lot of knockback on it. And like the coolest thing that this game has done is the fact that you can point the gun downwards and then shoot the bullet so that you gain extra height on your jumps. So I'm not sure whether or not that was an intended traversal mechanic, but it lets you like skip a few parts of levels in the desert place, I think. So it's pretty cool, but like that's it. That's
Huh,
that's
I
like
didn't
the most
realize that.
creative one. Yeah, I mean like, but that's the most creative one. Like it's a speed run strat, I guess,
Okay.
because it lets you like skip a bunch of like the wrench pulley things, but like that's the most of it.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, yeah. In general, I did like the way that the gun mechanics integrated into the game. The game feels really smooth. It's a good experience. So if
Yeah.
you are a person who just likes these Metroidvania games and you want to experience a one that's solidly put together, that's got a very likable world and interesting story, and but doesn't introduce too much new to the genre, Iconoclast is a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Oh, one special mention for me outside of the story is the boss fights. They're really good. Really
Yes,
good.
yes, they are really good.
So I think the big gimmick here in Iconoclast is that you have a party, quote unquote, during boss fights. So something in the lore makes it so that you always have a party member with you during these boss fights. And there's like this whole like supporting cast that Brad was talking about. They actually do stuff in those boss fights. So like there's a girl who has a shotgun who like blasts things really hard, and sometimes you don't even do the damage to the boss. Like your job is to set it up so that the support character can deal the damage to the boss, because your pew pew gun or your wrench aren't enough to blast through the boss's armor, and you need the shotgun to do it. And there's another guy who has like telekinetic powers, and he's like, put him here where I'm about to throw this giant telekinetic blast and stuff. It's pretty cool. These boss fights are really great. I don't know if you've reached it yet, but the boss fight in the submarine is like chef kiss. So good. Such a good boss fight.
I think,
Chef kiss.
I think I have been to the one on the submarine. Is that the one with the big machine?
The one that
Where
looks
you
like an
fight Agent
Aztec
White?
thing. Yeah, that
That was a
boss
really
fight
good
was.
fight.
Yeah, that was such a good fight. Like, and it
Yeah, I
involved.
guess boss fights do deserve a special mention in this game. They're definitely on that high level.
Yeah, they're like some of the best boss fights I've ever had in a Metroidvania, because that's the breath of fresh air it has. Like, if anything, this game's boss fights, like, they're not your typical boss fights. It makes you think. Most of the time the boss fights aren't even actual boss fights. They feel a lot more like puzzles. You know what I mean, right? Like
They're kind of like some sort of event or anyway. They're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
I think don't need to. There's not much more we can say about it without just explaining how all of them work. So
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, check it out. Iconoclast.
Yeah, I don't highly recommend it. I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. But that's not a bad score at all. I mean, artwork's beautiful, game is well polished. I guess it's just not my genre.
I'd say 4 out of 5. I think the game is absolutely good in a pure sense, outside of any comparison or anything else. The game is absolutely good. If Super Metroid had not been invented and this game was invented, this game would be a 5. It's
I
just that
see.
it doesn't necessarily add too much to Super Metroid, except for its boss fights.
I
But
see.
anyway, but definitely a cool game. Definitely worth your time to check out.
All right.
So shall we move on?
Yeah, so that pretty much does it for our Game Club game of this week. If you guys want to suggest us a Game Club game of this week, we will please tell us in the comment section down below, and we will get to that game as long as it's easily accessible for us to play. So without much else to do, let's go to the next segment, which I like to call Brad's segment, or whatever segment, depending on what Brad feels like. Brad, today are we going to have a character of the week, or are we going to have a very special pipeline segment about some certain projects that people have been asking about?
Yeah, so I would be very happy to talk about BattleCon Unleashed here on the podcast. We've finished getting together our internal planning documents for the project, so we kind of know what it's going to be. I think I talked a little bit about the 5 products that are going into the box, but I can take some time and I can tell you about our planned stretch goals and bonuses, and maybe give you some sneak peeks of like the cool things that we're doing for this project.
Yes, please.
So, so I'll tell you about BattleCon Unleashed. So, timeline. We are planning to launch this project around the end of July. So we'll have this running during August. The projects, obviously there's, Dev Remastered, there's Wanderers, there are, there's a big art book. There's going to be an upgrade kit for people who already have Dev First or Second Edition, and then there's going to be a big, the big storage box, Unleashed itself, and we have some pretty cool stuff planned for Unleashed. It comes with all of the tuck boxes, all of the card upgrades, everything you need to convert Fate and War up to the standard in Trials, and it'll hold all of Trials and Wanderers and Devastation
and War,
so
and
all that
Fate.
stuff. Yeah, and War and Fate. Yeah, in addition to all that stuff, including extra modes like bosses and so on. So it's going to be a pretty big box. But
you have dimensions for
all
the
of
box?
Not yet. We still have to test those in our office now, back here.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, sorry. Keep going.
No, it's just so we have a bunch of stretch goals planned for this project. And so pretty much like every like 10K for the entire project up to $1 million, like we have a stretch goal planned.
Oh my gosh.
So game's got like 80 stretch goals. Like 90 stretch goals.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So some of them are simple, some of them are bigger. The most basic ones, we have extra costume cards and punch outs for the characters. So each extra costume also comes with an extra punch out.
Oh, that's great.
We're going to be bringing back classic costumes, some of the BCO costumes. We've got some brand new original costumes for characters. We're going to do master costumes for all of the
meme costumes, Brad. Meme costumes.
There are some meme costumes. Some costumes which were inspired by fans or requested by fans.
Yes.
Some costumes which are call-outs to favorite, video game or anime characters. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, a Phantom Thief, Baneveer is in there somewhere, and Magical Hacker Marmalade is in there somewhere, and, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, we've got some cool stuff planned for that. Another kind of stretch goal that we have is alternate bases. So with these goals, you get a set of alternate bases, the 6 standard bases, with different artwork on them, and maybe some kind of different stylization. These you can put in with your favorite characters, sleeve them together, and kind of add some unique personality to the base side of your favorite character's kit.
Oh, so it's kind of like how Exceed has different stylized normals.
Yeah, exactly like that. So you could get bases that are, say, in the Exceed style, or in the style of BattleCon Online, or in some other styles. As the project goes on, we're gonna get guest artists to design their own bases.
That's pretty cool,
and those should be pretty fun.
Oh, I'm so hyped.
They'll be a nice touch.
I'm so hyped. But what are the bigger stretch goals? Like, what are the bigger ones? These are pretty simple, Brad. I want the big boys.
So the big ones are, well, the biggest one, of course, is new characters. So about every 100K, we have a new character added to the game. So there's like 9 new characters that we can add over the course of the project. Some of these are bonus characters, like we have a secret bonus boss for Wanderers. We have some extra bonus characters that didn't make it into trials, like Ray Cal, Andrus Dougherty. We have other division members that may join the fight. So you can see what Oriox 2,
Alice
Camel
Zero,
9, some of those characters. She might be in there somewhere along the way.
Ooh, interesting.
We have some more Malifaux sisters in the bonus character list, and some other returning backer characters that are going to get a full debut as playable fighters.
Ooh, wait a minute. Big question here. Two big questions, if you're okay with that. Big question number 1. Are all of these characters going to be legal? I mean, like, are they promos? Can I use them in tournaments? Like,
so every character in Unleashed, Dev Remastered, Wanderers is going to be a tournament legal character.
Except the secret boss.
Yes, even secret bosses, such as Enath and Evil Hikaru, will be rebalanced as tournament playable fighters.
Oh, snap. I mean, like, we already have a glimpse of that from Anath from BattleCon Online, right? So she's probably going to look similar to that. But I'm excited for some Evil Hikaru and Sal Ezra action, or like whatever, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So we got those characters planned for revision and for tournament level inclusion. So aside from the bonus costumes, the bonus fighters, the bases, we also have BattleCon Online rewards. So, for example, you can get extra costumes on BattleCon Online. You get early access to some of our upcoming fighters on BattleCon Online. You'll be able to get L pledges come with a couple coins to unlock some fighters of your own in BCO. So we're integrating BCO rewards into the game, or into this project very heavily as well. BCO will be in beta at that point, and available on Steam. So we hope that you'll play BCO while waiting on BCP.
BCP,
as they call it online.
Oh yes, of course, because in the online community,
actually, PaperCon, I think is
there. You go. PaperCon is what we indeed call it. It's very cool. I'm really excited for some of these BC pledge rewards too. It's like, I'm pretty sure we get some really cool costumes.
Yeah. What is it, Marky?
I'm sorry, because I know some of the costumes, and like, I'm not sure if we can say it on the podcast, but like, I just remembered like 2 of them, and I just started laughing.
Oh yeah, you can. I mean, you can say what's you can say the costume that we have planned.
Oh my gosh, I love the Surf's Up Caesar one.
Where he trades his Iron Star for a giant 5-pronged surfboard.
Yes, absolutely wonderful. I think Kat made fan art of this, and it is chef's kiss. Another
yes, it's inspired by Kat.
Oh my gosh, Kat Surf's Up Caesar, and I think my other favorite gag costume is probably going to be Good Evil Hikaru, just because it's so dumb. Yeah. It's such a dumb costume. Yeah.
It's fun though. The real question is, will it have alternate voice acting in BCO? That's the real question.
Oh man, Caesar should totally have alternate voice acting where he goes, "Cowabunga, dude," and stuff like that.
The waves never die.
Oh, oh no.
Okay. Anyway, so those are the kind of stretch goals that we have planned. If things get real crazy, we have alternate dungeon and or boss encounters planned.
Wow!
If things get real crazy,
like an extra boss fight, like Berman level boss fight or something.
Yeah, those kind of boss fights.
Ooh, now that's interesting.
And Battle Quest dungeons. Those are just like pie in the sky stuff, though. But we'll see how far those go.
Hey, Brad, you gotta dream big. You gotta shoot for the moon.
Exactly.
so that you land
and
among
you'll land among the stars.
Which makes no sense, by the way, because the moon's closer than any other star, but whatever.
Well, you miss the moon, and so that's why you go into the stars.
And then you die because of the space vacuum. All right. Anything else for
Yeah. So last thing this time, social goals. We are revising and revamping our social goals. No longer will you be stuck in a Twitter Skinner box. We have something really cool planned this time for social goals. So the social goals in the game are submit 30 new original fan arts, submit 30 new original fan fiction works.
Nice.
Create your own character.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Create, like build a cosplay BattleCon fighter. So there are goals like that, and each person can do each of these goals once. Once we hit 30 on any of those different groups, we unlock a reprinted, rebalanced classic fighter. So, 30 people post a cosplay of a BattleCon character. We get updated, revised, rebalanced Evil Hikaru, or Takeshi, or Eliza, or even Klaus and Windhall.
Oh my gosh.
So bring back the classic fighters. If those stretch goals go even further, we'll do an alternate costume for those classic fighters.
Ooh.
And those will be rebalanced, reworked for tournament play, just like everyone else.
Oh, Klaus and Windall. Oh my gosh. It's been so long.
Blast from the past,
Where's
right?
my Robert? Where's my Robert? No, but seriously, I think we should all. Don't we have one for submit a guide or something? That'd be cool.
Yes, we do have one for submit. I believe we do have one for submit a guide.
Oh man, I can't wait to see all of this.
I can't remember. There are 6. There are 6 different ones.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but I'm really excited to see what everybody puts together. Don't start yet. You don't submit them until after the project starts.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. It doesn't count just yet.
But it's okay to buff one. Just remember, you can only enter each of these groups once. So you can do one fan art, one cosplay, one character guide, one original character, one anyway, one of each thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So really we want our we want to encourage the people who are really into the game not to go and click on a bunch of links, but to actually kind of help us to build the universe and build the fandom, which I think is going to be a lot more fun and a lot more interesting. And your submissions may show up in the giant art book.
Oh, the Grand Chronicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also want to make it very clear to everyone listening right now that whatever you're doing, like whether or not you're going to cosplay or make fan art, fan fiction, a guide, whatever, do note that like people in the Discord and the BattleCon community have been doing these things for years at this point, and there's a lot of resources for you to go out there and like have people help you, have people like tell you, hey, this is the lore behind this specific character in case you needed some reference, or maybe help you create a custom character that's not grossly overpowered and broken, right? Like there's a lot of resources for you and a lot of people willing to help. I'm one of those people. Just chat me up. I will help you make characters and promise they won't end up like Eric. I promise.
You promise, Marco.
I promise. Hey, oh man, I should really send Brad the customs database link. My gosh, there's like 40 something characters on that thing. So
you should send me a long form written apology for Eric.
Oh, okay. 1,000 words, good. Okay. Anything else for BattleCon Unleashed? Wait a minute. Why is it called Unleashed if the entire thing's supposed to be a box that contains everything?
It's being unleashed from lesser boxes.
Okay. Okay, I'll accept that.
Don't read into it too far, Marco. Every analogy breaks down if you take it far enough.
Okay, that's fine. So let's end this segment like a snake ends its own tail. Is there anything else, or can I move on?
That's fine. How does a snake end its own tail?
Did I say end? I was supposed to say eat.
But snakes don't actually eat their own tail. That's just a myth.
Oh, really? I thought the Ouroboros was a real thing.
No, there's no real Ouroboros.
Okay, I'm saddened now.
But But rattlesnakes do just drop their tails if they get caught by a wolf. So if we imagine this segment is a wolf, or coyote, which is caught onto our tail, we can immediately drop it and move on to the next thing.
Welcome to the next segment, also known as Marcus segment, also known as 99 Questions, where we take your hot-pressed rattlesnakes, grab them by the wolf paws, and then shove it down your throat so that you can also experience the wonderful answers that are poison. That made no sense. Let's just move on to the first question. Hey Brad, is there any word on frame wars?
This got awful toxic.
Oh my gosh, I hate you. Oh my gosh. Okay, look, I'm Filipino. I know what being toxic's all about. Any word on frame wars?
What?
Oh, you don't know that? Filipinos have a really bad reputation in the online community for being some of the most toxic players in the world.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like, if you ask any Dota player or any League of Legends player and ask them about Filipinos, they'll know. Like...
So my entire experience with Filipino culture is you and Noko and Wicked Alucard, and you guys all seem great to me. So I don't know where this come from. That's not my experience at all.
Oh no, you haven't seen us play online games. There's a difference, you know, like online.
We played Battle Right together.
Oh, that's true, and we were
cool.
pretty chill there. Maybe I'm just an exception. I play support. I play support. Okay, I'm a very very nice online game player. So anyway. Any word on frame wars? I love the idea of it, but I haven't heard anything about it in years. Was it just scrapped?
The idea is not scrapped. We are Fabio is working on it. He's got an official name now, so it's not going to be Frame Wars. It's going to be something else, and we'll announce that in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But he's working on a tech demo for his 2 robots. And we are kind of at this point trying to figure out what sort of game it's going to be when it's finished.
Is it just Armored Core? Please let it be just Armored Core level 99 game style.
No, I'm pretty sure it's more like a Gundam fighting game than like Armored Core.
Oh, so it's like Power Stone, but with robots.
A little bit. It's a little bit like Battle Right, actually, I think, with but one-on-one with robots. That's the direction that he's leaning. So we'll see where it takes us along the way.
Ooh.
But you should still watch out for a Frame Wars Exceed in some time in the future, and we'll probably see more of these characters. Maybe some kind of full-featured board game adaptation.
Oh my gosh! Wait, is the Exceed them going into the robots? Please.
No, they'd be in the robots the whole time because a lot of these characters don't fight without their robots.
Oh, sad. Okay.
So it would be like, maybe when we put the cards down, we'll show like power. We'll just add 3 little zeros behind it just to show that these characters are on a different scale.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But they'd still be totally interactive with with all the other fighters in the world.
Yeah, okay. So it's like, they'd have power 3000, but really it's just power 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see. Okay.
That's how they do it in the Gundam card games in Japan.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's how they do it in Yu-Gi-Oh too.
I mean,
so
I guess
don't say it's too cool.
That's fair, right? Like in it's like they just have different base numbers, but in the end of the day, you could chop off a few zeros and it'd be the same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Okay, next one. You probably mentioned it before, but what are the elements of roguelites that keep you coming back to the genre? I think this is a question targeted to me. If you could get any anime turned into a roguelike, which one would you choose? Oh my gosh, this is such a hard thing. Okay, obviously the answer to number 1 is that I'm a glutton for punishment. But really what I really like about roguelikes, no matter what the central mechanic of that roguelike is, because I like RPG roguelikes, card game roguelikes, tactical, strategic roguelikes, platformer roguelikes. What I really like about roguelikes is the fact that failure is the default state. Like, when you go into a run, you accept that you fail, and then you try to find a way to win. Most other games, to me, are like, you win by default, and the failure state is something that just gets in the way of that. So I like the process of learning new systems. And basically, roguelikes are built in a way that's unfair towards the player. So every time the player finds something that's utterly broken and ruins the game, it's a good experience because they're like, aha, finally, I get to cheat the game. And I like doing that kind of stuff, like finding a strategy that basically invalidates a huge portion of the game that makes it hard is a good thing, and I like doing those exploitative kind of things. That's my deal. If I could get any anime turned into a roguelike, Kuroko no Basket, because it would be an absurd roguelike basketball game where you get to turn invisible and like pass to friends and whatever, and your friend can like mimic the abilities of Michael Jordan. I don't know, like that would be an absurd
How
game.
would that be? How would that be roguelike?
If they shoot the ball into your court, you die.
At the end of the game, if you don't win the season, you have to start over from the beginning.
In fact, it might even be like worse. What if it's just like 1-on-1, and then if the opponent scores a basket on you, you die, and you have to roll a new player?
That seems a little extreme, but I do really like the idea of crossing NBA Street with Binding of Isaac and seeing where that takes us.
Oh my gosh! Imagine with power-ups and items and like skills. And
and like the enemy teams just keep getting weirder and weirder as you go down the dungeon.
Yeah, and they get like one guy has like 6 limbs. Some of them have swords. That would be like a really cool game, in all honesty. I would play it.
It's like this sounds better than Shaq Fu.
It is.
It sounds like what Shaq Fu ought to be.
Yeah, it shouldn't have.
Where Shaquille O'Neal defeats crazy monsters in basketball duels.
Yeah, not fighting games, basketball duels. TM, copyright, level 99 game / Marco. It's ours now. This idea is ours. Okay? All right. Last question. This is a Brad question because I have no idea. Is Lim inspired by Vicar Amelia from Bloodborne, or is that just a coincidence? Same goes with Arya and then Arya from Killer Instinct. Is it a direct nod, or is this just a cool happenstance?
Okay, so Lim is not inspired by Vicar Amelia. Lim definitely predates Bloodborne by a good margin. However, Imogen, bonus character from
Exceed?
What's it? Bonus character from Exceed, definitely inspired by Vicar Amelia in Bloodborne.
Oh yeah.
But you can see when we take inspiration, we try to change it quite a lot to make the character feel pretty unique. So I hope that Imogen feels pretty unique from one of her source inspirations. There are others, but one of them. Arya. So it turns out there's actually BattleCon fans in the Killer Instinct offices because our Arya also predates their Arya by quite a bit. And both Aryas use 3 drones to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's quite a coincidence.
They're also female named robots.
Bots. I did not confront them on that coincidence. I didn't think I'd win. But yeah, we our Arya came out a bit ahead of theirs.
Wait a minute, Brad. I also know some lore about Arya, and it's eerily similar.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, like, isn't Arya from Killer Instinct some sort of like data AI that's actually an adaptation of a person's personality or something like that?
I don't know. I haven't read the Killer Instinct backstory.
I mean, to be fair, who does, right? But like, I think that's
there was that one time we were trying to sign a license deal with them, but that fell through. So I kind of lost interest in the series.
Aw, sad.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of sad.
All right. Okay, so it's all cool happenstance or copyright theft. That's what happened. They stole Arya from us. We're coming after you. Just kidding. No, we're not. All right.
Anyway.
So that pretty much does it for the 99 questions segment. If you guys have any questions for me and Brad, please tell them in the comment section down below or put in our Google Forms link where we will answer them eventually. Finally, let's move on to Otherwise. The reason why I say otherwise at the start of every episode. In this episode, somebody suggested us a very cool game that I like, and they called it the World of 7th Cross Merchandise Table. And this is very interesting because it's not like Merchandise It, where we suggest each other a Indians thing and make a product out of it. Instead, we suggest products that the 7th Cross characters would either endorse or be the spokesperson for. So, for example, you would have sun hats for Dijonette, or maybe like really, really crazy Red Bull energy drinks for Galdred, right? So, Brad, I will give you a character, you'll give me a character, and let's try. How about that?
Okay. Well, yeah, why don't you go ahead and go for it?
All right, Brad, you should make one for... Let's start it easy. For Yaquis.
Yaquis. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, this would be... So, Yaquis... I don't know if you know this, but in America we have these traveling like gun and weapon shows.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
So I would definitely and there's always somebody at these shows, and they have this big table laid out with various weapons, probably imported from China. Like very, very heavily Asian themed weapons.
Okay.
And anyway, I could see Iacos running one of these tables, selling you all kinds of crazy weapons, each one with its own story attached.
Oh, and they're all and all the weapons are named something like this blade is.
They're all named.
Yeah,
they're all named after famous dragons they've slain.
Ah, indeed.
From around the world. So
I like that.
Yeah, so those are the Iagos's fancy authentic blades from around the world.
That's the name of his store. Iagos's fancy authentic blades from all around the world. It's a mouthful. It's really hard to get on a business card, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yes, there's my submission. All right, Marco, what's your what would you merchandise with Remless?
Oh no. Okay, so here's my idea. Remless would actually be the spokesperson for a really, really weird set of Play-Doh that glows in the dark. And she could do like this cool commercial where she like vomits the Play-Doh because she's radioactive and stuff. She opens the vent and goes, "Wow! Ah, kids, welcome! See this new cool Play-Doh."
That's horrifying. That's like truly, truly horrifying.
Would you buy it? Would you buy it though?
Not for my kid. No way.
I think it's a Play-Doh set that's targeted towards more of like the teens, the teens who are all edgy and cool. Like me, edgy, cool, dark ghost mark.
When I want to be edgy and cool, I get some glow in the dark Play-Doh. That's what I reach for.
It's red though, so it looks like blood.
Okay. All right. Well, cool named swords from around the world, or edgy glow in the dark Play-Doh that glows like blood. Who is the winner? You decide in the comments.
Please tell us, please, and also please suggest a new game. That pretty much is for. Otherwise, if you guys want us to try another game or want us to try one of our older games, we will play those so long as it's not Dark Soulsified. And I'm really
anything but that.
Anything but that. I mean, it could be Bloodborne-ified, I guess. But like,
no, it can't. It can't. It also can't. That's the same thing.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice-ified.
No,
no, is it the same thing?
What about like Zelda? Some other genre. How about roguelike-ified?
Oh no, that would actually be really cool. Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, is Dark Souls just a roguelike?
Roguelike. I don't think you'd have to do. I think you'd have to turn something else into a roguelike. Like Marco, design a roguelike about breakfast cereals. Then we can go.
You're obviously Tony the Tiger, and you're a serial murderer, and you go around and try to kill other cereals, and you absorb their powers, and then and then you die, and then you have to.
Wouldn't you be Count Chocula at that point?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's move on from that.
Oh my gosh, let's end this podcast.
Guys, it's been a great show. Great podcast. Great co-host, Marco DeSantos.
Yeah.
And me, your host, D. Brad Salton Jr.
Yep.
And I want to thank you guys for joining us again. Wish you happy gaming, as always. And have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget your special action. Thank you, Roll of Beans. Thank you. And good night.
And otherwise.
Happy gaming.